Hello everybody, welcome to my DIY channel on auto repairs. Today I'm going to show you how to repair your 5th generation RAV4 hybrid. My vehicle is a 2022, but the instructions I give you should work from 2022 back, and I have been underneath the 2023 and a 2024. These instructions will work for you too. As well as the part, I also need to add the part numbers as well. I have not been under 2025, so I don't know if these will work for you, but this will give you the basic instructions on how to change your oil. Few caveats. This is a safety sensitive task, so please, if you're not sure or you got more questions, please consult an automotive technician. If you'll do this task right, you can damage your vehicle. So let's look at what the parts and supply and tools we need. So right off the bat, we need an oil filter, obviously. And this is a 90915-Yankee Zulu November 1. And this has, the 5th generation RAV4 uses a spin-on oil filter. Now for folks who are wondering why I make such a big deal, it's a spin-on oil filter, you need to watch my NX300H video, because that vehicle is similar to a 4th gen RAV4, and they used a cartridge filter. These are much easier to change and remove and install. For the drain plug, you will need a drain plug gasket. This is from the Toyota dealership. For me, Toyota dealers throw these in for free. I think if they're 50 cents a piece if you buy them outright. I always buy Toyota parts. My vehicle's under warranty. I keep the receipts. I can show I've been using their parts, so if never have any issues. What filter you want to use is up to you, but I highly recommend just use a Toyota filter from your local dealer. I think I bought 3 filters with 3 gaskets for like $12 US. That's fairly reasonably priced. Oil, you need to use fully synthetic 0W16. You need 4.5 quarts, so about 4.2 liters. So for my case, I just put in five bottles, because each bottle is a US quart a piece. And I bought this because Toyota dealer had a really good sale when I showed up. For the price of it, I thought, this is almost the same price as Walmart. One-stop shopping. This is nothing more than Mobil 1 repackaged with a Toyota logo on it. That's all it is. So if you want to use Mobil 1, it's no problem. Just use it. If you want to use Kirkland, I haven't seen 0W16, but if they do carry it, there's nothing wrong, because their 020 is just Mobil 1 repackaged. And Pennzoil is okay too. The most important thing is to use 0W16, and it's fully synthetic. Tools. Now for the drain plug, we need a 14mm box end wrench. Really important to use a box end wrench. You watch my other videos, don't use the open end wrench. The drain plugs are easily rounded, and my vehicle was serviced by the dealership because it had some free servicing when I purchased it, and I've already loosened everything in here, and the drain plug was really tight. Also, the oil filter is threaded in horizontally. So if I want to show it to you, it is threaded in like this into the engine block. On my other vehicles, it was vertical, but this time it's like this. And so the area where it's threaded in, it's kind of difficult to get at. So that's why I have this filter wrench that I got. I can't remember where I bought this from. It's like $5 at an auto parts store, and I use a ratchet just because there's not a lot of room to spin a T-bar or to put the wrench on the end of it. So I use that. Now there's a shield that is on the bottom of the engine to protect it, and it covers everything up. In order to remove it, you will need a 10mm socket. What I've done is I have put it on my driver here. Just remember, the screws shouldn't be in very tight, and the installation and removal and installing it, be very careful. You can strip these things out. Now the panel, I've kind of did some early removal for you to make it easier on you. But this is the access panel. And it is held in by these fasteners. There's 4 of them. You can see they're just your standard Toyota fender fasteners. I removed this to make it easier to show you because it's you folks don't need to show me how to remove a panel. I think everybody's capable of doing that. One question people ask is, you see these holes here? Point to these holes. They're there to drain the water out. So if your panel looks like this, there's no damage. There's nothing wrong with the panel. Now I'm going to go underneath the vehicle and show you. Now I need to apologize because the vehicle is really low to the ground, even with it jacked. And everything is kind of tight back here. So, okay, so. Okay, I need to move the light too because it's blinding me. And probably, so as you can see, there's the drain plug. The access panel's been removed. And the camera doesn't do a very good job, doesn't do justice, but here is the access panel area. It's been removed. And there's the drain plug. And as you can see, there's some red marks on it. The dealership's been doing maintenance on this vehicle before I got it. So just, that's, you may not have these marks. You may, I don't know. Just keep that in mind. Now for the oil filter, I'm going to go, I don't know how well I can show this to you, because it's really hard to get the tablet in here. Oh, it's going to be really difficult here. I'm in the right area, it's just I can't show you. So this is why, unfortunately, the video this is hard for me to do with it. But okay, there it is. I'm sorry about that, but I can barely push it far back enough. There's the oil filter. So you can see it's 90 degrees. It's across the vehicle. And as you can see, there's not a huge amount of space here to actually install the wrench and to swing a wrench in there. So that's why I'm using the 3/8 ratchet. And again, mine was done by the dealership, and I checked the torque on it, and it's pretty snug. A lot of times dealerships do tighten these pretty snug. So if you haven't been serviced, please. I always recommend just use the wrench. I bought a vehicle one time that was serviced by like a gas station, and I literally had to drill a hole through the filter because it was so tight. This one, I already put the wrench on and checked the torque. It is pretty snug, but it can be removed with a wrench. So please use the wrench on any oil filter, especially this one. So I'm going to get out of the vehicle here and show you one more thing. Okay, and that is, I removed the fill cap. I've removed the fill cap, put it on desk, on the workbench, and I've pulled the dipstick. The keys are on my kitchen table, and the reason I did that is it's really easy when you don't know it. You can actually turn these vehicles on, being push starts. So please always keep the keys far enough away from the vehicle so you can't accidentally start them. Now I'm going to remove the filter, put the new filter on, and put the new drain plug on, and I'll show you what I've done when I come back. So bear with me. Welcome back. So off camera, I removed the filter, the drain plug, put a new drain filter in, added 5 quarts of oil to the engine, and I'm running the engine to leak check the vehicle. One thing I want to put is important is I've left the shield off. It is still off. And the reason I did this is I want to be able to check for leaks to verify that the oil filter does not have any leaks and the drain plug is correctly installed. One thing I forgot to mention, I should mention to you, is that with the drain plug, the torque for it is 15 foot-pounds. But the torque I use is I tighten it to gasket contact and 2 flaps. For the oil filter, the torque is 10 foot-pounds, I believe. I just tighten it up to the gasket contact and about a quarter to a third of a turn. That's my specs. Another thing that I should mention that some of you folks probably noticed is that on these spin-on filters, the gasket right here, normally they recommend you lubricate them before installation, and I didn't do that. The reason why is a Toyota filter from the factory comes with a, I guess it's almost like a Vaseline type lubricant pre-installed, and the bottoms are covered in plastic, clear plastic, to avoid contamination. So I can, if you buy a Toyota filter, a factory filter, you can just install it straight on without having to do that. If you're buying an aftermarket filter, please, I recommend you lubricate the seal, the rubber seal right here. You can use a little bit of engine oil, brand new engine oil. You can use a little bit of Vaseline, but use something, because if you don't do it, you can tear up the seal. The other thing I do is after I change my oil, is I take a stock of all the parts I've used, the expended parts. As you can see, I have an expended oil filter, a drain plug filter, drain plug gasket, and 5 quarts of oil. And the reason I do this is I know I've done the task properly, and all the parts that were used have been removed. It's with this vehicle, since we're using a spin-on filter, you have to be careful, because if the filter is old, that rubber O-ring can stay on the back of the engine, and you can double gasket it, and you will have leaks like you wouldn't believe. These have been known to stick to the drain pan, and if you double gasket those will leak too. Real important. Finally, I want to show you one more thing. Is the vehicle's running right now, so it's kind of noisy, but I'm going to show you one more thing here. It's hard to see, but give a good cleaning in here before you put the cover on. And the reason why is it gets really messy down here. And as you can see, oh, that's a better view. You can see my oil filter. It's nice and clean. There's no liquid or anything. It's dry. Same with this. It's dry, and the original marks that the dealer put on for after they changed the oil filter, the anti-slip mark is still there in the same spot. So that's always a good sign. So, and then I always run the vehicle for a good 5 minutes, especially in a hybrid, let the engine cycle so that all the oil is warmed up, and there is no chance of any leaks that you may not notice. Finally, I gotta do a safety item here. There are rotating engine parts here. If you think there's a leak, shut down the vehicle, put your finger through there to verify. Don't do it while the engine's running. Even though this is a beltless engine, there's still components underneath the vehicle that can injure you. So I always recommend, if you're not sure, turn off the car. I'm going to install this panel for you, and then put it on, because there's no way I can install it, give you a good view, and still film this. So I'm going to pause this. But before I do, I want to give you a hint here, and that is, there's a little, if you can see, there's a little tab here, and it's installed this way, and this tab slides in. It's really important to have that tab slid in as you install the rest of it, because if you don't install this tab, it'll actually kind of pull up a little bit here and won't sit flush. Again, with these screws, they're 10mm screws, and these 10mm screws generally don't have to be super tight. Snug is all you need. They're only tightening into, if you can see, those nylon inserts. The nylon inserts actually keep them from rattling loose. So I'm going to shut off my vehicle, do a final leak check, and install this panel here. I'll be back with you. Okay, welcome back. So I've shut off the vehicle and tightened up the fasteners. I'm going to show you this panel here. You can see if